Hey guys, how much does it actually cost to spend 3 weeks scouting one of the hottest affordable retirement destinations in the world for Americans during peak season? This past February, I took a red-eye from the West Coast and spent 21 days looping around the Yucatán Peninsula on the all-new Tren Maya. I hit 8 different locations, from the colonial streets of Mérida down to the lagoons of Bacalar and the beaches of Mahahual. If you book standard hotels in February, a trip like this will drain your travel fund fast. But I'm going to show you the exact data and travel hacks I use to slash those peak season prices and keep my grand total at a level that will probably shock you. Stick around to the end, where I'll open up my spreadsheet and reveal the exact final cost down to the penny for all my lodging, transportation, food, and daily expenses, and prove exactly how far a Social Security budget can actually go. When you are scouting destinations for your GeoPension journeys, you need to move like a free-flowing river, gathering data without getting bogged down by high costs. But before we break down exactly how I did it, grab the QR code on your screen right now to download my free GeoPension Framework PDF. This shows you the data-driven plan I use to shortlist the best affordable overseas retirement locations. And please hit subscribe so you don't miss our ongoing deep dives into the Yucatán Peninsula and other affordable retirement destinations. All right, let's run the numbers. Lodging is where a scouting budget usually goes to die, especially when the snowbirds are in town. I stayed for 20 nights total, and my average nightly cost was just $55.18. And that's for both name-brand international hotels and charming local B&Bs. Contrast that with the current average nightly hotel rate in the US of $162. Here is my two-part strategy. First, for the big cities of Mérida, Campeche, and Tulum Pueblo, I utilize an aggressive IHG credit card hack. Throughout the year, IHG runs sales where they offer a 100% bonus when you buy hotel points, effectively dropping the price to just half a cent per point. I stock up during these sales and use my IHG Premier card to maximize the points I earn on the purchase. But the real magic happens when you book. Because I hold that IHG card whenever I book a stay with points, the 4th night is completely free. So I deliberately structure my scouting route into 4-night chunks in the 3 big cities to trigger that bonus. Let's look at the data. 4 nights at the Holiday Inn in Mérida Centro cost me 50,000 points. Since I bought them at a half cent each, that's $250 total, or $62.50 a night. This fantastic hotel included a delicious breakfast of local specialties and was smack dab in the heart of Mérida's central zone, an easy walk to stunning cathedrals, parks, markets, restaurants, and museums. Similarly, 4 nights in Campeche came out to $305, or $76 a night. I was situated right on the Malecon with a fantastic ocean view and an easy walk to this charming colonial city's sights. Last 4 nights in Tulum was an unbelievable $195, or just $49 a night. I was in the heart of downtown, across the street from the brand new La Comer supermarket, as fancy and well stocked as any American supermarket, but with much lower prices. Second, for the smaller, more intimate towns like Valladolid, Bacalar, and Mahahual, I switched to Booking.com. I filtered strictly for locally owned inns with a minimum rating of 8.0, and I read the reviews closely. This landed me in gems like the Casona del Negro Aguilar in Valladolid for just $52.50 a night, and at great local spots in Bacalar and Mahahual, also for around $50 a night. Every single place I booked was centrally located downtown. Walkability is a non-negotiable for a scouting trip. You need to be able to step out your door and immediately feel the rhythm of the city. And here's a pro tip when you're filtering places to stay on Booking.com. Use the map view so you can, at a glance, ensure the places you're booking are close to the heart of town. Now let's talk about moving around. My total transportation cost for 3 weeks was $327.54. The Tren Maya tickets made up the bulk of this at $269.35, with another $53 in local station transfers, as the new and amazing Tren Maya stations are often on the outskirts of town. I made an entire video about riding the Tren Maya, so please check it out. The train is a game changer for retirees because it completely connects the peninsula with modern air-conditioned ease. But you also have to know how to use local infrastructure. When I did a day trip from Mérida to the beautiful coastal town of Progreso, I didn't take a fancy tour. I took the local Auto Progreso bus. The 30-minute ride on comfortable air-conditioned buses left me right downtown in Progreso, an easy walking distance of the beautiful beach and the Malecón. By the way, Auto Progreso's bus station in downtown Mérida was just a 5-minute walk from the Holiday Inn. And the price was unbelievable. The round-trip ticket cost me just $5 with no need for reservations. For all my travel expenses, I exclusively use the Capital One Venture X card. It has 0 foreign transaction fees, and I earn 2 times points on every single purchase. When I needed cash to pay for those local buses or street food, I used my Capital One 360 checking debit card at local bank ATMs to withdraw pesos with 0 fees. You can't scout a city without eating the food, but you don't need to eat at overpriced tourist traps to eat well. My entire food and miscellaneous budget for 21 days was $631, or around $31 a day. That breaks down to $91 for breakfasts, $340 for dinners — I typically don't eat lunch — and $120 for snacks, water, local beer, and the occasional tequila. I threw in another $80 for miscellaneous things like sunblock and souvenirs like this Tren Maya cap. My strategy here is simple. Skip the places with English menus aggressively trying to pull you inside. I find the best local spots using a combination of Google Maps ratings and just actively walking the neighborhoods. My GeoPension goal here is to find out if I could live in these cities, so walking miles around the local neighborhoods every day gives you an incredible feel for the safety and the vibe. It gets you your daily exercise, and it leads you right to where the locals are actually eating and living. So to sum up, I executed a memorable, informative, and comfortable 21-day, 8-city scouting loop across the Yucatan during peak winter season for $2,062.04, all in just $98 a day. Now, one quick caveat. I did this trip as a solo traveler. If you're scouting as a couple, your lodging costs will stay exactly the same since every room I booked comfortably accommodated 2 people. You will just need to double your food and transportation budgets. That means a couple can expect to pay about 46% more, bringing the grand total for 2 people to roughly $3,020 for 3 weeks of peak season travel. That's just $72 a day per person, which is an absolute steal. If you are looking at these numbers and comparing them to what you spent just existing in the United States last month, you are starting to understand the core philosophy of GeoPension journeys. And here's the most exciting part. These numbers actually represent the most expensive way to live in the Yucatan. Because I was hopping cities every few days, I was paying premium short-term lodging rates. Once you transition from a scouter to a slow traveler, staying 1 to 6 months in a single locale, platforms like Airbnb offer massive monthly discounts, often 30 to 50% off the nightly rate. On top of that, because I was in hotel rooms, I was forced to eat out for every meal. But with longer-term stays, you get access to a kitchen and can source marvelous, cheap meats, veggies, and fruit in the local mercados, which will drive down your food costs as well. So, when your housing and food costs drop that dramatically, living an abundant life entirely on the average $2,076 monthly Social Security check goes from a theory to an absolute reality. A scouting trip like this isn't a vacation. It's a strategic investment in your future. By optimizing your travel costs, you can afford to stay longer, see more towns, gather deeper data, and accurately determine if a location is somewhere you want to return to for a 1 to 6 month deep test run. If you want the exact GeoPension framework I use to analyze these destinations and optimize your retirement budget, just click the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description for a free PDF download. And please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Keep moving, keep researching, and I'll see you in the next video.